Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning, Applejacks. You must have had a good London. Yes, no, maybe so. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. I literally just took my first why is it not showing up? Oh, it is. I just took my first trade. Here. Literally as I was getting on the stream. She said she'd be on time. What? Did what I wanted, but didn't give me. Okay. Touche, touche. Okay, but I was only late because I was taking a trade. That doesn't count. Does it? Does that count? Oh, I'm kind of supposed to. That goes back up there. I'll get in. Oh, no, I'm not. Hold on one second. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Good morning, trenches. Thank you for letting it slide, ma'am. How are you this morning, trenches? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm a little sad. I am. I truly am. Good morning. Good morning, Amelia. Good morning, Paul. How are you guys this morning? Not you run a tight ship. Where you set up? Wait until after this news to see what happens. Right in this area. Let me see. You said Wednesday? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 4. I see. I see. Okay. Oh, my back. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? Oh, he said he got 5 on it. Hold on, y'all. I gotta check something real quick. What time is it? We still got a few minutes. I needed to get out of this little area though. Um mm, mm, mm. I don't know. Roblox is making you proud. You need more investments. That's the stock that you bought because your niece likes Roblox, right? Ah, speaking of, I gotta see if I can pick my baby up when they get home from school today so I can take him to get his toy for his birthday. I didn't want to get him on a school night because he doesn't know how to go home half the time. TT, I want to stay with you. So just in case, Nvidia got more good news yesterday. Your girl got sick, period. We do have 9 o'clock news coming, high impact in 7 minutes, so be aware. Just be aware, be vigilant. I was about to say vigilant. Girl, you're sleepy. We touched the major resistance at 45.25 and popped down. What's the time-based chart look like? Nasty. Kinda. Looks like the average range of the 1 minute bars is like 20 points. Good to know. Oh, I'm gonna miss that. Oh, maybe not. You're going the wrong way. Come on. Oh, and I forgot. I have to change my TP actually. As I'm going through the back test and adding that last component in so I can redo my analysis, I noticed there's a lot of times where price goes. So you guys know I'm going for 26 ticks, and once it gets 25 ticks in profit, it moves the stop loss to break even. There were a lot of trades where it went the 25 ticks and popped back. And so I'm going to move. Actually, no. I'm trying to figure out if it's worth it to move the TP 1 tick down. So instead of going for 26 ticks, I go for 25. It's either going to be that, or when it goes 25 ticks in profit, don't move the stop loss to break even, more so move it like halfway into profit kind of thing. The way that I think about it is like the law of averages, right? So let's say I have in a week's time span, let's say I have 3 trades that go to 25 ticks and pops back to 1 tick in profit for the break even, right? That means that there are 75 ticks that I'm missing out of in profit, right? You got the 25 times the 3. I would basically have to, so if it happens 75, that 75 ticks I'm missing out of, there's not going to be 75 wins in the week where I'm missing out on that extra tick, if that makes sense. So I should end up making more by moving my profit back. So I think I'm going to do that instead of moving the stop loss to break even, or because I'm trying to think how many times. Yeah, I'm just going to move that then. But do I want to move maybe I won't have an auto break even then. I'm going to try a 24 tick break even for now. 24 plus 1. Hold on, I'm trying to change the ATM while I'm waiting on news. All right, so, but then I do have to keep my stop loss at 26. It just sucks because now the difference between a loss and a win is not just the commission difference. All right, 25. All right, it's changed now. You done for the day, Paul? In a good way or a bad way? That wreck near your neighborhood yesterday? Girl, what did it look like? An older lady who resides in my neighborhood. Oh no. Oh my gosh. My just go to the gym. I got a memorial to go to later. Okay, Trenches. Sorry to hear that. That is crazy. I saw a video a few weeks ago. This lady posted a video from her Ring camera. I guess her son, okay. Her son's friend was at his house, and her son's friend had his bike. She told the kids, like, basically they were all about to leave, but she was getting her stuff on. So her son and the friend goes outside real quick, and her son knows not to ride that boy's bike. Like, he didn't have his own bike at the time for a reason. So he thought he was finna go on a little stroll real quick, just a little ride. And he popped on that bike, took a couple pedals out into the street, whop, got hit by a car. And when she posted the video, people thought that she was trying to blame the car. But I mean, literally, the car had no time to stop. Now, the car did look like it was probably going a little bit too fast. Like, it obviously wasn't going that far over 25, because that little boy would have been hurt like hell. But she was like, no, I just want y'all to know I'm not blaming the car. I'm blaming this on my son, because his ass knew he wasn't supposed to get on that bike. And he didn't look both ways. He literally just hopped on the bike and went straight. He looked like he was probably about 7 to 9. And that car popped him. He got up so fast. And she said the only thing he did was come inside and say, Mommy, I'm sorry. It's a mess. Don't think anyone died, though. Definitely injured. It sounded like a bomb went off. I know you was like, it sounded like it was a bad accident. I'm out. I gotta go be nosy. This episode fast. Yeah. He was definitely black. He was. Oh, I don't know if you guys like stand-up comedy. I typically do not. But one of my favorite comedians is Ali Sadiq. So I watched his stand-up last night called My Two Sons. Hey, why can't I hear these people? Why the financial juice man not talking to me? Normally I have to shut him up. But anyway, yeah, it's called My Two Sons. It's on his YouTube right here. It was so good. So good. And I'm so mad because I was supposed to go see him in person. I feel like he came here last May, if I'm not mistaken. And I totally forgot all about it. Because I'm like one of those people where I can't really buy. Like, one of my friends is inviting me to a cruise for her birthday next year. I said, girl, I don't know what I'm doing next year. I could be pregnant. There could be so many things going on. That's a lot to ask. Girl, you can't do that. But yeah, same. Oh, that's all. But yeah, so it was just so far in advance when I knew he was coming, so I forgot about it, and I didn't end up going. Say to my I love him. I love him. So I like him. I One of my favorite comedians when I was growing up was Michael Collier, but he's a lot older now, so he doesn't really do very much. But I did go see him in person when he came here. Oh my gosh, it had to have been like, let me see, this one girl, I think this was maybe, no, this had to have been before she was pregnant. And I think her oldest is 4. So this had to have been like maybe 6 years ago. And he was good. But I do notice that uses a lot of his jokes. Maybe because I've seen so much of his stand up. I don't know. Maybe that's why. His joke stories. Yes. I there's another comedian that's on his page. Oh my gosh. I talked about him, I think, with you guys. But he's really funny too. I think I watched like 3 of his stand-ups. I watched the most recent one that he has on Ali Sadiq's page. Excuse me. What is his name? Marcus Wiley. I watched the one on Ali Sadiq's page and it had me so intrigued. I went to Marcus Wiley's YouTube and I watched like 2 more of his stand-ups and they were so good. Those 2, I really like those 2. I do. Oh, he got 1 million views on this stand-up in 2 days. Nice. Y'all got plans for vacation for 2027? Why? It's too far out. It's barcoding? Oh, it is. Yuck. It is. Spent the entire year listening to podcasts and comedy shows. See, I like, most of the time I can watch a stand up and like it, but might not laugh. It takes a lot to make me laugh, like a lot. And I would say like the last 20 minutes of that stand up had me over here cracking up. I was watching it while I was doing some back test, or not really back testing, but updating to my strategy with the data that I have. So I am, how many pages am I in? I'm actually more pages in than this, or have more pages to get through, considering I didn't count this week yet. But the data I have is like 65 pages and I am through page 36. So not too bad. But it takes me a while to go through line by line and update it to add that one extra component. I've actually been keeping track of the time. It takes a long time. And then after I do all that, I still have to add it to the analysis sheet and all of that. Ugh. But I'm going to get through it. The goal is to try to get through it by the weekend, but we'll see. We'll see. But then if I count like this week, this week will probably add like another like 15 pages to it, except I don't actually have to do anything. I just have to add it to the analysis sheet since everything's already done. 88. Hey, that's not correct. Fuck. I have literally the same thing on here. It's not right. I'm glad I noticed that. All right. There was a. All right. I fixed it. I fixed it. I actually thought we were going to reject off the overnight high, but So for right now, until I finish all of the data, whenever we're inside of the change zone, I'm only going to take counter trend pullbacks. Nothing in the direction of the trends. Yeah, just counter trend pullbacks for now. Because technically, basically where we change to an uptrend is right below this resistance level right here. And so we obviously need to pop above it, right? In order for it to make sense for me to take buys. So yeah, just counter trend divergence for now. What is different between my chart? Oh, this is gonna mess you guys' chart up for a second. Like, why can't I see the background is good? All right. Can y'all tell that's green? Yeah. All right. Good morning, Timbo. How are you this morning? Good morning. Good morning. You got plans for 2027? How do y'all do that? It's very expensive, so we start. Okay, I can understand saving for it, but I can't say no yay or nay yet. Go on an expedition. Just drive. Will be my second. Oh, nice. See, it's a little too much ice there for me. I can't. I can't. I know my best friend, her birthday's in August, and if I'm turning 35, she'll be 36. She was like, if we go to Mexico for my birthday, you want to come? I'm like, of course. Why wouldn't I? Of course I would. Think he looks like a consolidated mess. It is, but I got two good trades out of it, so we ain't gonna talk too much shit, man. But this is the worst part. I forgot I was supposed to be on a 20 tick chart. First of all, I didn't get on the charts until 8:35. I snoozed 3 times this morning. I was tired. Okay. And once everything loaded, I was like, I'm supposed to be on a 20 tick chart, but it's all right. But definitely, if the volatility stays this low, she's definitely gonna have to go ahead and go to a 20. But at the same time, I just feel like if I have 5 good setups a day, just 5, and I'm positive 3, even I could say positive 2, meaning I could, win 3, lose 1, break even on 1 kind of thing. I would be satisfied with that. Like y'all know me. I don't need to take a whole bunch of trades. It just irritates. Like I know when my strategy is not right when I have a whole hour and I don't have enough setups. Not just because I've been sitting out of them, I'm questioning things. Not like that. If I truly don't have setups, that is a problem. Like I'll tell you guys, so you guys know I missed Monday or whatever. So I'm going through and I'm like writing all the trades for Monday, and I'm like over here so confused. How am I getting through this so quickly? And then I realized my back test chart was on a 40 tick chart instead of a 24. And I knew something was wrong because I'm like, ain't no way only 4 pullbacks had like 4 regular traditional, you know, lower low, lower high to lower low to lower high pullbacks. Only 4 in the whole session. And I just was so confused. And then it hit me because when I do things for that first week of April that I love to backtest on because it was so volatile, so you can pull so much data out. I was using a 40 tick chart back then, and you really had to because of how volatile it was. But yeah. So, but I have been noticing since I've been trading that it's been working. Going, no matter which chart I use, it's been working. So I guess. I guess 67, 120. I don't really like that. But yeah, as long as I get enough trades in a session, I don't really care. I don't. All right, maybe I need. Probably has to be in the body then. Getting out of the country. Applejacks, first of all, yes. I haven't been out of the country in quite a few years, but by choice. Like, when you have to travel so much for work, and the thing is, part of my work was also leisure, right? So I was traveling for my company, doing all of these events, but we did certain like leisure travel, like we did cruises together, and things like that, right? And we had a lot of time to actually enjoy ourselves wherever we were. But when you're on a plane every 4 or 5 days for like 6 months straight, and then you're on a plane basically even after that, I was traveling at least once a month. You kind of get tired of that shit. I know I did. Absolutely did. I was over it. I'm not gonna lie. And then also, I did so much traveling by myself. And don't get me wrong, like I genuinely enjoyed traveling by myself. But at my age now, mm, I don't really want to do that anymore. I don't. I really don't. Hmm. But yeah, I really just don't want to travel by myself anymore, to be honest. That is very interesting, actually. Hmm. I don't. Hold on. Where's that trade that I took earlier? Wasn't it off the VWAP? It was off the VWAP. Yeah. All right, I'll stick to that then. Don't be falling in love down there in Mexico, child. She doesn't fall in love. What's wrong with you? I'm a real thug, okay? She don't do that. You've been out the house in quite a few weeks. Girl, I was out of the house this whole weekend. Where'd you send me at? Got out the house 2 more times this week. I gotta go to the grocery store today and I'm dreading it. But I need to go. I ran out of fruit. I'm gonna go down there and get my crew back. How many different countries have I traveled to? I've been to Mexico more times than I can even count. I've been to the Bahamas a few times. I feel like I've gone to one other country, but I can't think right now. Or maybe it could have been one of those more times. I don't know. But we mainly traveled to Mexico and the Bahamas. We took multiple cruises to the Bahamas, and one of my old business partners, she was actually from the Bahamas. She won the visa lottery to get over here. And so whenever we would go back, like her parents would cook for us. It was just a load of fun. And then, yeah, I've been to Mexico on cruises and like actually flew out there kind of thing. Maybe those are the only 2 countries. See, my biggest problem is I can't go far. She doesn't. No, she doesn't like long flights. That's my biggest problem. So my friend that was just here this weekend, he's on his way to Paris right now. He was supposed to go to Amsterdam. He's like the epitome of I spin the globe and I, whatever I choose, I go. He's like, unless it's somewhere like crazy that I'm not going to go to. So he was initially supposed to go to Amsterdam. So I called him on, he left here Monday. So I must have called him Tuesday. And I was like, did you decide if you're going to go to Amsterdam this weekend? He's like, no, I'm going to go to Paris instead. I said, I thought you hated Paris. He said, no. It was London that I hated. I said, oh, okay. And so I was like, are you just now booking your flight? He's like, yeah. So I called him yesterday. We were talking for a little bit. I said, you haven't even packed, have you? He's like, no. I said, see, you already knew that you were probably going somewhere. When you unpacked from here, you should have just took out your toiletries, took out your dirty clothes, and kept your clothes in there that you didn't use. But he said that London, I think not London, Paris, while he's there, is only supposed to be between like 45 and 60 degrees or something. So it's going to be kind of chill. Disgusting Applejacks. You do. You said that since you've been here. How you stay away. That's what Stella said. Thug my ass. Girl, I am a thug. What's wrong with you? The third person. It is so funny because in that stand-up last night, he's talking about how one of his sons talk about himself in third person. He said, he'd be like, Hassan doesn't do that. And that's me. I do the same thing. Homebody is me. Wait, homeboy is me. Be so last minute with everything. I can't do it. Well, yeah, I can't. I need to plan just a little bit. Plus, it's just like not worth it to spend so much more money to go to the same place just because you decided so late. Like, I can't. My parents went to London a few years ago. They hated it. Yeah, he absolutely hated it. He said the food was not good and it just wasn't a great experience for him. But I also feel like he would have more fun if he traveled with somebody. But he's like, none of my friends have as much money as I do, and I'm tired of them canceling things. So I just go by myself. And I'm like, you know what? Touche, because I did the same thing when I was way younger. So I don't blame them, honestly. I don't. 14. I have a feeling. Okay, I wanted to make sure I wrote that right because I didn't write the other thing right. 14. So I told him, I was like, yo, make sure you take a picture near the Eiffel Tower, a picture of you at the Eiffel Tower, and send it to me when you get back. He's like, that's if I go there. You know, I'd be sleepy. I said, dude, if you go all the way to another country to be a pawpaw and sleep your little life away, I'm going to cyber slap you. I'm like, shit, just take a picture by the hotel window at this point. He's like, oh, I can do that. I said, bruh, find some energy. There is no way you're going to Paris. No way. And you don't go to the only tourist spot that makes sense for you to go to. Come on now. And knowing him, he probably won't go. Probably won't. London, I had a blast. Heard I got lucky though due to the weather. In the countryside, I visit a ton of authentic. Yeah, see, maybe it's because, like, I feel like certain places, once you go to that one, like, touristy spot, you have to find, like, what the locals tell you is fun to do. But it also depends on, like, what your version of fun is. Like, me and him, we're kind of the same in that we don't have to do something from sunup to sundown. As a matter of fact, that's never going to happen. Okay? We need one good thing to do for that day. And then after that, we just got to kind of wing it a little bit. That's the only part of like not planning that I'm okay with. One good thing. And if I have the energy or if I have the desire to still be sucked out of my energy by all of the people around me, then we can find something to do from there. But other than that, don't you have me doing shit from sun up to sundown, because I'm going to choose one thing off that list and I don't know what to tell y'all after that. Yeah, he's a pawpaw. I call him pawpaw. For real. And I've been calling him pawpaw the entire, we've known each other about almost 10 years. We met, he says that we met at one of the business events. We met in the same, we were in the same network marketing company. He says that we met at one of the events. I don't remember. However, I also don't remember probably 80% of my experience at that time in my life. I was going through a lot of trauma at the time. And so my brain probably blocked a lot of stuff out. But also I just did so many events and I met thousands of people. Okay. I don't remember everybody. I don't. Like, there are people who have to send me pictures that we took together at events for me to even remember the event, remember them, all of that. Timbo was getting drunk with the locals. Yes, he was. Country, I'm outside from not. What? Oh, yeah, trenches. I can't travel nowhere with you. Mm-mm. First of all, I'm not coming out of my room until after 11 a.m. All right? No. And it probably helps that I don't, eat breakfast and stuff, or I don't break my fast until later in the afternoon. But anything before 11 a.m. has nothing to do with me. Nothing. That's not in my ministry. And then to still, like, you don't take a nap at all. The problem once you lay down, fuck all them other activities. That would be me. Yeah, trenches be outside, okay? I can't do it. Mm-mm. I can't. When we went the last time I went out of the country was to Mexico for my cousin's bachelorette party. This was right before COVID, actually right as COVID was happening. I think it was like in September. And it was crazy because I caught COVID, but I don't know how, because first of all, there were she didn't end up going, right? No. 1, 2, 3. There were like 6, 7 of us. We all did pretty much everything together, but I was the only one to catch COVID. And I didn't even think I had it. Like, I felt like a bus hit me when I woke up one morning, but 18 hours later, everything was gone. And the only reason I even went to get tested was because my boyfriend at the time came to see me like the day after I came back. And he was like so sick, so sick. And I remember that it was pretty warm in here, so I had the windows open. So I'm thinking like, all right, he just caught a little cold. And then when I woke up feeling like a bus hit me, I was like, huh, all right, what kind of cold is this? This shit kind of hurt a little bit. Like I stayed in bed all day. Y'all hear me? All day. Drank a bunch of water, took my black seed oil, and the next day, everything was gone. So he was still sick like a week later, and that's the only reason I went to go get tested. I'm like, all right, well, this can't be like a little cold because he's still down bad. Now I'm up moving, I'm good. So I go to get tested, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just here to get a COVID test. They're like, do you have symptoms? I was like, well, about a week ago, I felt like a bus hit me, but 18 hours later it was gone. So I highly doubt it was COVID. I'm really just here to get this little negative test so I could tell my boyfriend it's something else. Child, that shit came back positive. I said, oh. And that was the only time I had COVID, like this entire time. I'm just now, like recently, as of this weekend, started going out places without my mask. Like all the places that we went to this past weekend, I didn't have a mask except when we were inside of the arch in the little tram car. Cause baby, sitting that close, like all our knees are touching. I don't know you people, mask on. And I still care, like I still felt really uncomfortable though. And for me, if I feel like I'm gonna be in a space where there are gonna be strangers that are gonna be somewhat close to me, I'm wearing my mask. I'm gonna always have it on me. But yeah, COVID wasn't my problem. Tuberculosis is why I will always wear a mask in some capacity, especially in enclosed spaces. To be on the list to get treatment for tuberculosis of all things, that was like super scary for me. I don't ever want to go through that ever again. So I don't trust anybody in their motherfucking germs. Okay. What impressed me with England and most grocery stores, their beef was so fresh and packaged plastic. Huh. Interesting. Trisha said, fuck a nap. FDA could care less here. FDA is why we are all sick. Absolutely we are. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Where you going? Oh yeah, it's Friday. We talked about that. It's Friday. She puts on clothes. Period. I was Applejacks. I was so confident. That's just like when I found out I had tuberculosis. Like, so I had a really, really bad reaction to the TB serum one year. Now, mind you, I had already been having reactions to the flu and pneumonia vaccine. The last flu vaccine that I took was when I was in nursing school, because they legit, like, they didn't care anything about exceptions. You had to get it. But when I was in high school, when I took the flu and pneumonia vaccine one year, my reaction was so bad that they had to do a spinal tap on me because they thought I had meningitis. Like, it was terrible. Okay. Absolutely terrible. And so one year I was getting the TB test this is when I started working for this agency that I worked for years. And when I tell y'all, within like not even 24 hours, I would say it was probably like 12 hours later, I woke up and my whole arm was swollen. It was like really dark. It was hot. And where she put the serum was like it looked like I had a crater in my arm. That's how swollen my arm was. And so I went to get it read, and she was like, what's going on here? And she was like, I don't think this is a positive test. Now, looking back, it could have been a positive test. I don't know. But yeah, she was like, I don't know what's going on. And so she asked me if I had ever had any reactions to any vaccines. And I was like, yeah, I have. So I explained to her that like every year that I would get the flu vaccine, I would have a reaction, but it was really, really bad in when I was a senior in high school. And the spinal tap kind of effed me up because I could barely walk for like 2 weeks. And so she was like, yeah, you don't need to get any other vaccines. Don't get any other testing like this because you're clearly allergic to something and it has to be a preservative because it's going across the board. Like these are different vaccines and stuff like that. And so she was like, from now on, you need to get chest x-rays to check for TB because there's no way we can keep injecting you with this TB serum. She's like, the next vaccine or serum you get put into you, you can go into anaphylactic shock and die because your reactions have been getting worse and worse over time. So I'm like, cool, you ain't said nothing but a word because I don't like that shit anyway. So from there, every year I would get chest x-rays to make sure I did not have TB. So when I left that job, I went to a different agency. And so they were asking about, me getting a TB test. I was like, hey, can't do that. Had a bad reaction. They told me not to. So I've been getting chest x-rays every year with my other agency. So this new agency is like, oh, well, did you ever have a positive test? I'm like, no, I just had a bad reaction. And so they're like, okay, well, with us, you don't start getting chest x-rays until you have a positive blood test or a positive PPD test. So you're going to have to go get a blood test. We're not going to take your chest x-ray. I'm like, bitch, okay. So I go to get the blood test. So they're asking me all these questions, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm just here to get this TB blood test so I can get this negative test so I can start my new job. That test result came back positive. I said, who the fuck, huh? What? And so I'm pretty sure I actually had a reaction and it wasn't a positive test like when they did the PPD, because one of the things with TB, you are most likely to catch it from somebody you live with or at your workplace, right? And the highest risk as far as workplace are jails, psych wards, working with the homeless, and I forget the fourth one. And that's basically all I had been working for 6 years straight. And I do remember that before I left that state job, I was PRN, so I worked on every unit and I knew everybody. Like I had been working there for so long, you could literally name a patient and name a medication and I could tell you if that patient takes that medication, like legit. And I remember I had these 2 patients where out of nowhere, I'm giving them TB meds, but they never said anything about them testing positive, like no, nothing. And back that happened right before COVID. So we weren't wearing masks and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure I caught it in that workplace. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Yeah, Amelia, I think it's the eggs, but I also think it's just like the other preservatives in there too. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I could trade again, but we're a little too close to where I would have to break even, and the swings are equal here. 1.2, 1.2. So yeah, I honestly think it's a combination, because one of the things that I noticed, and I was just telling my friend this over the weekend, the more clean you are, like as far as like clean eating, you exercise, you do all of these things to put your body in the most optimal state, the more sensitive you are to things. Like I've always been sensitive to fragrances. My great grandma was the same way, but it's even worse now that I am like, I primarily eat fruits and vegetables. I eat meat only once a day. I only eat beef like once every couple of weeks kind of thing. I try to exercise. I ain't exercising a whole week, but now I can put most fragrances on me and I will start itching. I'll turn red and things like that. So I think it's the eggs and just other stuff that's in it as well. I don't know. Fake dump. Oh, never mind. This BS. They should have told you. Yeah, when it came to the TV, right? I knew I didn't want to take that damn treatment. I knew it off the rip, because first of all, it's like 6 months of antibiotics, very strong antibiotics. And I was so afraid of going through liver or kidney failure. And I'm like, I really don't care what y'all talking about and that, the risk is low. I always feel like I'm going to be that person. All right. That's going to be me. So I waited a minute. Like I waited. I reach out to, you can see like my positive test was March of 21 and my negative test was 2 years later. So I waited like a year and some change. Reached out to one of my friends who's an herbalist. I was like, yo, hello. Got some things going on. Need a little help here. And 166. That's too close to where I would have to break even. And the point of control isn't where I want it to be. So he was like, all right, I'm going to put you on these supplements. So I, took these certain supplements or whatever. And one of the supplements, I forget what it's called. 98. I forget what it's called, but I do remember that he said that basically the mineral that's in that particular supplement. 98. Hold on 1 second. It's not going to be what I want it to be. The mineral that's in that particular supplement is found, like there's some place in the country where like there's never tuberculosis cases. And supposedly it's because of this one particular mineral that's in the soil there. And so they basically take that mineral and they put it into this black powdery substance, and you have to drink it with water each day. And then I was on like another supplement that was supposed to like detox my lungs and everything else. And so you have to take the supplement for a few months. I think I took it for 6 months, but I wasn't consistent for like probably 3 of them. I don't know. And so eventually, like months later, I was like, okay, let's go. I actually went to start treatment. I'm like, just in case I want to have kids. When you're pregnant, your immune system gets all out of whack. I don't want something that's dormant like this, because they told me that my TB was never active, because otherwise it would have shown on the yearly x-rays I was taking, right? And so, yeah, he was like, well, it's been a while. Why are you just now wanting to get treatment? I'm like, well, I possibly want to have kids in the near future, and I don't want this to be something that ends up hindering me, or I don't want it to become active while I have children, and now I have to worry about, me passing it on to them and things like that. And so he's like, okay, well, you're a fairly healthy person. 68, that would be good. Body saying. He's like, you're a fairly healthy person. We don't really have active TB here in this county. And he's like, so let's just go ahead and retest you and see, because you could have been borderline. Your body probably could have gotten rid of it, because I was telling him about my diet and all the things that I do. And yeah, I retook that test. It came back negative. Y'all, I cried for so long. Oh, for so long. I was so happy I didn't have to go through that damn treatment. I was so scared. I was in that doctor's office crying my eyes out. The lady said, are you okay? I'm like, no. She's like, what's wrong? I was like, I'm gonna go into liver failure, kidney failure, trying to take this medication. She's like, what? I can be so dramatic. I'm not gonna lie. I can. I surely can. Well, that changes things a little bit. I was initially going to get into the buy, but we pushed a lot of volume in this candle here, so. $68. Did we not? I took it off. I forgot I took the volume up down indicator off over there. Very interesting. Do I want to take another trade? I do. Except I think this has to be a trap. But the buyers are in control of the point of control right now. All right, now there's the trap, but are we gonna push up? Nope. Make sure to 68. Oh, I don't want it to trap now. Hey, market, what you gonna do? Trying to see if we're gonna use this pivot. We got the middle pivot level there, the overnight low, and a lower VWAP level. So I'm trying to see if we're gonna use that as support. All right. Oh, well, nope. We did not. I just knew we would push up there. All right. What is 532? We're kind of close to where I would have to break even. But I'm going to get in anyway. Well, maybe not. Nope, now it has to reset. I basically need there to be at least 530 volume in the reversal candle. The delta should end up being positive because the delta in this bar that my vertical line is over, that's the highest volume bar in that swing up, and there were basically no buyers there. The delta is negative 68. So as long as this delta is positive with high volume in the candle, I'm going to take the buy. Unless it's a trap. I don't really want to take a trap though. So I want the buyers in control of the point of control. Oh, never mind. We're about to get out of here. Thanks, market. You hold me. That's all right. Man, we just consolidated for so damn long. That just low-key pissed me off a little bit. And that was my trade right there. Let's see if it ends up winning. I still should have took it, but no, it turned 945. That was literally exactly what I wanted to. I just literally because of the volume, all I wanted was for the point of control to be in the wick of the candle, and I wanted the buyers to be in control because we were pushing off of VWAP. So anytime we're pushing off of a level, there's not very much. I just have to know where I want the point of control to be placed. And deltas sometimes matter, but in this case, delta didn't matter. But yeah, the buyers were in control and everything. So that was the perfect, that's literally what I was looking for. I was looking for it here. It didn't happen. We created an outside bar. I was even willing to take the buy here, even though we were only like maybe 2 points away from where I would have to break even. I told you guys, eventually I'm hoping I don't have to break even at levels anymore. As I've been adding this extra component of paying more attention to like hold on one second. Paying more attention to the strength of the pushes and stuff, it seems like this is going to work out a lot better. It does, because I'm basically getting in when, like, okay, I'm getting into a buy here. Yes, it's counter trend or whatever. But in me getting into the buy, after I see the strength of the sellers that push down, I only care about the strength in which the buyers are coming back into the market. And so in order to do that, all I have to do is compare my volume and my delta of the reversal bar to the highest one in this swing. Why? Because this was the last time that the buyers even mattered, right? The buyers don't really matter in this swing down. That's why we're swinging down. So like I said, this highest volume bar in this swing up, what had negative delta. So the buyers were literally non-existent. So I pretty much knew that as long as we had positive delta here, we would push, and we did. And that's a great push up after what? 100. Why is there no zigzag over there? I just noticed that. But anyway, so this was 114. Actually, no, we're on 2. So this was a 200 something tick move down, and perfect buy off the VWAP to go up 100 ticks. When I tell y'all, this is so much more simplified doing it this way, and I don't know why I never thought about it this way, but it worked. Good morning, Blackout News Network. How are you this morning? At least you know you can be dramatic. This market is going to give you a heart attack. Terrible year for you. Listen, you're not the only one. This has been difficult. But you know what? This is what I will say. If you make it out alive, you will be so much more of a great trader, because since Trump has been in office, we have had to adapt a lot, like a lot. And going from a super volatile market to a choppy market, back to volatile, back to like normal volatility, like being able to have so many different market conditions in the last 4 months. If you can learn how to adapt your strategy to what the market is doing at like in real time, man, you're gonna be unstoppable. This is like great experience. As frustrating as it has been, because I ain't gonna lie, this shit been kind of frustrating. I'm actually grateful for the experience. I am, because I genuinely feel like it's gonna make me a better trader. All right, let me show you guys the accounts. This was not. Where did I start this week? Hold on, because I don't know, for whatever reason my trade performance never shows my TPT accounts when I click on it. So I started this week at 450. All right, so I gained about $200 in like 4 days, which is not bad considering I literally just changed my whole I wouldn't say the whole strategy, but technically I kind of changed the whole strategy up this week. So to be green for the week overall, I'm actually really happy about that, and it's actually making me pretty excited to go into next week, because I genuinely feel like this is where I'm going to end up. And last night I was kind of like journaling my thoughts of why it kind of makes sense, why the way I'm doing the strategy now, why it makes the most sense out of all that I've done before. Looking at the strength of the pullback and that determining like what I look for in the previous swing in the same direction, which I literally was trying to do that in January of this year, and I abandoned it because it still wasn't making sense. But that's because I was only looking at the reversal bars though. So like in this swing or in this entry bar, instead of me comparing it to the highest volume bar, I would just compare it to how like what the buyers were doing in this reversal bar, and that ain't it. So I think this is where I'm going to end up. So starting next week, I am going to multiply contracts. I need about $2,500 to pass this account. And like I said, my goal is to just pass this last account so I can start trading my PAs. And I'm going to start with the PA that only has 650 in drawdown left on it. And then I'll kind of go from there. But the goal is to try to get this account done because I'm ready for payouts. Damn it. But yeah, not a bad week. Let me see. I took what, 2 trades today and won them both. So looking at, let me bring up TradeZella. TradeZella will tell me everything. All right, I'm gonna go look to see like how many trades I took and what my win-loss was for the week. Because I think most of my red days this week were not that bad. I'm pretty sure. Hold please, signing in. Wait, no, look at the dashboard. All right, I'll have to make sure that the trades for this week were in here. All right, so it looks like I took 10 trades this week. Took 10 trades, won 6, lost 4, broke even on 1. I know for sure one of the trades I lost, that was yesterday when I thought the point of control was, I think I was going for a sell and I wanted the sellers to be in control, and they were the entire time until the bar closed. And I was wondering why it was like so shaky when I got into it. And that was because after I lost and I looked, I was like, oh, actually the buyers were in control and this was a trap, and that's not what I was looking for. The break even was the trade, I think, from yesterday where I was in the trade and we had a volume spike, and there was literally no volume in the bars below where price was when we had the volume spike. So I got closed out at break even instead of a win. So yeah, not too shabby, honestly. I really can't complain. I can't. But I'm going to go journal and study, you guys. Yesterday, I literally was studying from the time I got off the stream with you guys until legit like 2 o'clock in the morning. I took a couple of breaks, but not much. I probably had like a total of like 2 hours of a break. But I'm going to go try to get some more of this done because my goal is to get everything done by the weekend. I already have my to-do list with my little check boxes. So as I get through each day of transitioning the data, I'm going to check everything off so I can kind of see my progress. But the goal is to get it done in the next few days. So we'll see. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, I will see you guys bright and early Monday morning at 8:45 Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend. Be safe, and I will see you guys Monday. Bye.